Hello, good people. Spot of Nerd here with a brand new episode. If you know this channel and you know me, let's give you the heads up really quickly here. This is going to be a politics episode, and it might be very brief, but regardless, it's going to be about politics. So if you're not in tune with, let's just say, the guy that I support, you might want to come back in a couple days where I actually get back to doing a review on one of the most incredible series that is currently streaming on television right now, specifically Paramount Plus, Landman. I've talked about it on my social media stuff, and I'm finally getting down to doing a review because I officially finished the 10 episode first season. But trust me, it's incredible. You will not want to miss it. I encourage you to check it out. But until then, we need to talk about what I'm going to kind of consider to be America's second, potentially third revolution. And to be very clear, revolution can be taken many different ways, and sometimes in a not so peaceful / violent kind of way. But at the same time, I'm not seeing it that way. What I'm seeing today as, and if you haven't caught on, today is Inauguration Day for the 47th President of the United States, which will be Mr. President Donald Trump. And I could not be more excited. And regardless of when you're watching this or when you're seeing this, I hope that you are too, because quite frankly, the majority has spoken. The next revolution has begun, except this revolution hasn't been through violence. It hasn't been through, other things that I won't mention here. It was a mandate to the man himself to basically show us that realistically what he did in his first term, he's only going to do better in his second term. Because the last 4 years, I'm pretty confident, and the election that was on November 5th of 2024, it really did prove, like I've said, we are in yet another revolution for America. It started with a Revolutionary War back in 1776. Some might even consider the War of 1812, look at your history books, as yet another revolution, like a second revolution, but it ended with a draw with my people, the Brits. And this time it is for the better. It is for the positive, because enough is enough. Common sense is back on the metaphoric menu, and I cannot wait to see what the next 4 years will bring. So, as I mentioned, I'm going to try to keep this as brief as I possibly can, but I did want to get a few points out, and those points are points you have probably heard across the spectrum from about 1,000 other channels, 1,000 other people on the internet, and who knows, maybe I'm that first person you've heard it from, or maybe that first person that you've actually paid attention to. And what I'm getting at is, this is a very special day. We have been begging for this for the last 4 years, and the ironic part about all of it, for those that despise and hate Trump, realistically, if the 2020 election wasn't stolen, wasn't rigged, which you can now talk about supposedly on YouTube, I would prefer you go watch on Rumble and follow us there. Speak of the devil, if you wouldn't mind, go ahead, hit that subscribe button right down below. If you would care ever so much, I would appreciate it. Anyway, regardless of all of that, today is something crucial. It is something that needed to take place, and albeit 2020 is in the past. Sure, we can go down that rabbit hole if you want to. I would encourage, if you want to talk about stuff in the comments, go ahead and leave it down below. But honestly, this is now the time for change. And when we talk about change so much in the media, in the news, in the socials, etc., so on and so forth, nothing ever really happens. Look at the last, let's look at the 4 years. Let's look at the last 10 years, 20 years. If you take everything from the government side of things, from the social media, from the media, everybody on the planet tried to shut this man down. He was removed from pretty much every single platform ever online, that he literally created his own Truth Social. He was consistently destroyed by media from across the globe. And yet he still was able to achieve something that is unprecedented. something that nobody I don't know what the words are, but nobody could have ever predicted, that not only would he win the election, but he would also win the majority vote. And it's set up for a mandate. And it really, you're going to hear that. You probably heard it already if you haven't through me. There's a mandate right now for him to make the changes that are necessary to get us back on track with what should be the way that American society is. You have to forgive the words. Sometimes I try to sound smart, but the words don't really, they go from here, they don't really get out here. So you have to forgive me on that. But I think you can understand where I'm going with this. So obviously, we've already heard from day one, he's already going to be signing in 100 executive orders. And I pray to God that includes shutting the border, drilling, energy, getting rid of the millions upon millions of illegal immigrants that are here. And if you're upset about that, maybe we can do a little bit of a trade of like, what if we just get rid of the criminals? Because there are several 100,000 of those convicted criminals that are illegally here. Why don't we start there? I'm pretty sure if you can't agree with me on that, damn, just say, we'll just leave it at that. But there is so much that needs to take place. It's not going to get done in the next 4 years. Let's be very clear about that. But this is the start of the next revolution in American history, in American society, because this is where we can get back on track. If the last 4 years alone has proven one thing, it has proven one thing and one thing only, that the more government gets involved, the more that human society gets fucked. And I am wholeheartedly, I've been saying it for years, I've been saying it for decades, but I'm really now going to start speaking out to the fact that if you believe the government is here to help you or to somehow make your life better, you seriously need to take a look in the mirror and reevaluate what you are looking at in relation to your own life, in relation to the economics, wars, peace, blah, 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 blah. Everything the government touches turns to shit. It is only when humans come together that we really actually progress forward. Look at Elon, look at Starlink, look at SpaceX. The man, as I've said in a previous episode, the man caught a fucking rocket from space. And you know how he did that? Without government intervention. It ain't rocket science. Get it? It ain't rocket science. But it is actually rocket science. But anyway, you get that part of it. So I'll simply we'll wrap it up here. But I want to say I am truly grateful for everybody out in this world that finally, I don't know what the right, I don't know what the right word is or the right words to say, but I am grateful for those that got out and they voted for him. I'm grateful for the people that maybe you were on the opposite side, maybe you despised and hated his guts, but you realized the last 4 years taught you just what happens when the justice system is weaponized. What happens when, promises are made, trillions of dollars, billions of dollars are sent to other nations, and we're left with nothing when you still, to this day, have North Carolina in travesty from those horrific hurricanes. I believe it was Hurricane Helene. There are still like 3,500 people that are homeless because they cannot get any aid from the quote government. But yet in LA, supposedly Biden has promised that 100% of all the repair work, which is now exceeding over $250 billion worth of damage, which is going down in history as the greatest travesty in American history, everything will be paid for. But yet how, when, why, if, or it's a story and it's a thing we don't need to go down right now. It's just something to put on that more. It's another piece of the puzzle of what the fuck, government, what the actual fuck. So with today, starting today, January 20th, 2025, or whenever you see this, today is the day America comes back. America starts fresh. America gets its shit together because it's its people that define it. It's the people, the American people, regardless of what color you are, what heritage you are, what skin color, yada, yada, yada. It's the fact that when we come together, and I am talking about we because my God, even though I'm technically not officially American, I feel more American than most. When we come together, we can truly do anything. And it is not only just what I'm saying out of my own mouth, but history has proven time and time again that when America steps up, when America shows its strength in unity, only positive, incredible things come from it. And I'm pretty sure if you've ever read a history book, that just holds true. It's just facts. It's not perfect. It's absolutely not perfect. But my God, it is exceptionally far exceeds any other country on the planet. Look at the British right now. They are literally, the British, we'll talk about this maybe another time. The British right now are more concerned about defending illegal rape gangs than they are protecting their own citizens. That's some pretty fucked up shit. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I encourage you to look it up, because it's pretty messed up, the fact that the British are more concerned about offending people than they are about young girls getting raped. Jesus Christ. But that's again for another time, we'll do it later. I am excited. I am proud. I cannot wait to see what happens. I wish Donald Trump, our new president, the 47th president of the United States, I wish him the best of luck. I pray to God nothing happens in a negative way where he obviously has another assassination attempt or whatever it might be. I pray to God everything goes smooth, and I pray to God that your life gets better. I really, really do, regardless of through financially, through health, whatever it might be. I'm pretty confident, even those that have the most hate towards him, I'm pretty confident if you can just take a quick look at the last 4 years, you know already that this man, regardless of him day one being in office, you know he's already made changes that are making lives better across the world, not just in America alone. And imagine what he can do in 4 years. Imagine what he can do in 4 years. Now, I don't know, sometimes, again, my brain doesn't work as well as it used to, but like I've said in the beginning of this video, and I will wrap it up officially now, you would have only had him for 1 more day, or 2 more days, or whatever it is, if the 2020 election went through properly. So just want to leave that there, that quite frankly, if you'd have just let things go the way they should have, you wouldn't have to deal with him anymore. But I don't know if I've mentioned that. I just figured it'd be worth, even if I have mentioned it, it's kind of worth mentioning again, because it's quite ironic and it's quite hilarious. So God bless these United States of America. God bless Donald Trump. And hopefully everything, please God, don't let anything get so fucked up that we go downhill. But anyway, huge thanks for everybody that got this far. If you have, I really do appreciate it. If you are listening, if you are watching, I am eternally grateful for every single one of you. We officially passed 250 subscribers, and I could not thank you all so much. It is wow, absolutely wow. But please keep it up, and we'll see you guys in the next episode. Laters, y'all. P.S. So TikTok is officially banned. Thank you, God. Maybe we can bring some intelligence back into the world, especially from the social media standpoint. I'm very curious if we can do OnlyFans next, because again, I truly, and I am not afraid to say this out loud to the world, I believe one of the biggest issues, one of the biggest problems today in society is social media, and is things like OF and everything in between. It is not about taking away your freedom of speech. It is about taking away the fact that these apps, these systems, these algorithms, whatever you want to call it, they don't do anything great or positive for your own life. They only destroy it. And that's another road we can go down another time. But quite frankly, just because, again, I'm seeing this whole freedom of this, freedom of that with TikTok. There are literally probably tens of thousands of TikTok-like apps online. Just go to one of those. All your data's already been stolen from the government anyway. What's one less one to deal with? It's not really the biggest deal on the planet. Just maybe go outside or something. I know, crazy old guy talking here.